Very good morning to all. Very good morning to all. Uh, Today, I hope I'm audible to all. Uh, Today, we will start once again the continuation of the instruction set. The second unit is completely on instruction set. So, wherein we are trying to understand the different instructions of ARM Cortex M3, and parallelly we are trying to run the same instruction on Keel Microvision 4, and we try to understand the working of the individual instructions. Uh, in this class, we will try to understand how the MUL instruction and MLA instructions works, followed by the REV instruction, then load store instructions. So these are the four different types of instructions that we will be trying to understand, and we'll see parallelly how it works. Okay, I'll share my screen. Just hold on for a second. I'll be back. So this is one example where we try to understand the how multiplication instruction work. Very simple instruction. I don't go with execution here. I'm trying to take. See, if you want to clear the content of any register, then I will be using this move r naught, comma 0x000. So it's nothing but we are trying to clear the instruction. There is a data in R1 and R2. So I'll be using mul instruction, mul R1 comma R2. Give me the R1 into R2. That's the output will be 4 in this case. Similarly, the another register wherein it is called as unsigned multiplication, here MULL, unsigned multiplication for long. Other day I told you why we go for using long. So because if my data is of 32 bit or more than that, then I need to store the output maybe sometimes 64 bit. So I will be using 232 bit here. So R0 is 32 bit, R1 is again once again 32 bit, which stores the multiplied value of the data that is present in R2 and R3 registers. The first lower 32 bit data is going to be stored in R0, and upper 32 bit data is going to be stored in R1. So this is how the UML works. Okay, so that's where I took like F0000002. So obviously when you multiply this with this, you're going to get a data which is more than 32 bit. So again the data is going to be stored in R1 and R2, R1 and R0 respectively. Okay, so I insist each one of you to perform this in your key and try to see the output how it varies. Now here are the some examples that you are supposed to perform. Write a RM assembly code to execute the following math equations. One is simple a plus b, and another one is the a plus b whole square, and the third program is a star b plus c. Now I am asking you to use this MLA instruction to execute this. Okay. Now I'll try to write the program for this third one. You try to write for rest of the first two examples. First one is very simple. A is a integer, B is an integer. You can take A as R0 register and B as R1 registers, and Y is also once again output register, which may be R3 or R4, anything, right? So this is how you are supposed to write the program. Now quickly we'll try to see the output of this MLA instruction. I'm trying to consider like R1, R2, R3 here, which is nothing but A into B plus C. So here this is A and this is B and this is C. Now what is to be performed here? I need to perform, see this colon, semicolon indicates the comment line, that's it. So I need to perform y is equal to A star B. Okay, if at all I want to use, so how I can perform this? So I will be using a simple mul instruction here. Mul R3 to be assigned to one of the register. Let me assign it to R4 output register. Then I need to perform multiplication of A and B. So where is my A? It is in R1 and R2. It is B, right? So I'll just perform this. Then next, in the next line, so I need to perform the addition, right? So here something like the added value of A plus B, which is already stored in Y, so I can call this again y equal to can I perform y plus c, right? So that's where I can use add. Once again I will be using R4 because R4 is a final destination register, or else if you want to see the output of R4 you can change your register to any other register R5. Then I will be performing addition of R4 with C. C is nothing but R3, right? So what should be my final output? I'm trying to perform first multiplication of R1 and R2, that is 3 into 2, 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. So output should be B in my case, right? So run the program. Debug. Okay, observe the contents of R0, R1, R and the R4, R5. R1 we received 2, R3, R2 3, R3 5, then R4 something gone wrong. Just a minute. Probably I have not built. I think I had not compiled properly. Okay, 2, 3, 5, then R4 I should get. Yes, now I am getting R4 equal to 6. It's multiplication of R1 and R2. Then once again, okay, finally R5 is the resultant register. So I will be taking, or here you can also consider R4, add R4 comma R4 comma R3. So that's also perfectly correct. Okay, so now instead of this, can I make use of MLA? And if I want to use that MLA instruction, then how do I do it? So I'll remove this instruction here. I simply say MLA instruction. So output register is R4, R4. And what is to be done? R1 comma R2. So first two register, whatever you write, that will be multiplication. ML. So M starts with multiplication. Then later on the register that comes, that is trying to accumulate. What do you mean by accumulate? It is nothing but add, perform addition. So I will be performing R1 and R2 as a multiplication. Then for the multiplied value, I am trying to add R3 content. Right? So this is y equal to A star B plus C. Okay, so let me check the output here, whether I'm going to get the same output or not. So run the program. So finally, MLA instruction is about to execute. Just observe the R4. So once again, I'm getting B. Okay. So what's the advantage of MLA instruction? If you find any of the instruction which is performing multiplication followed by addition and summation of some numbers, like convolution example in your DSP, or even the obtaining the DFT, there you can easily use this type of instruction. You are avoiding two instructions. Instead of two instruction, you are using only single instructions. See, if at all I'm giving a time to execute one instruction, if say for example 1 second, then two instruction will be executing into, instead of using two instruction, say mul and add, for this particular example I will be using only single instruction multiplication and accumulate. The advantage is, assume that for each instruction you are spending 1 second time to execute, and for this particular equation you will be spending 2 seconds to execute this A star B plus C. If I'm using a single MLA, then 50% of the time you have saved. That is, in a single 1 second I'm trying to use the multiply the perform this particular operation. So at one go I will multiply and then I will add. And this type of instruction MLA is very much useful in case of your convolution example, where it is a multiplication and series of addition, right? So same thing is true in even in DFT, obtaining the DFT and IDFT. If you observe, there also we will perform multiplication and then we perform the addition. So all such kind of mathematical equations can be easily implemented using MLA instruction. Right. Next, so this is all about multiplication operators instructions that from, see, both are in both ARM7 as well as Cortex M3. Now, another instruction called REV, which is nothing but reverse the data, and this is purely, you can see in Cortex M3. We don't had this instruction in earlier, we don't had this instruction in ARM7. Now what is the importance of this? So we have three different instruction REV under this REV. One is REV RD minus RN. One is RD minus Rn, where it is nothing but the destination register content will be reversed. So what is the size of the data? Data size will be, it will be bytes in word. Reverse bytes. Byte of data are going to be reversed in complete word. Word means 32 bit, right? Now, just word in this case 32 bit. So 32-bit data is going to be reversed, but in the form of byte, right? Now reverse 16. Okay, once again the ordering of data is getting reversed, but with respect to 16 here it is half word. SH, so again H stands for half word and H stands for half word and S stands for signed. So signed, when I say that signed, it is nothing but negative. So it reverses the bottom half word and sign extended the result. Now we will see the operation of individual registers and then how the output is going to be varied in each cases. Now let me assume that data to be a 32-bit data. So that the data is FF22AACC. So before execution, register content will be of something like this: 8-bit data, 8-bit data, 8-bit data, 8-bit data, because any of the things we represent memory is going to be a 4 bytes, right? So 4 bytes, and this will be CC is going to be stored in lower bit. The next is AA that I'm trying to store. So CC is going to be stored here, then 22 is going to be stored here, and AAFF is going to be stored here. After the execution of this instruction, what will be the output? How the output varies. So I'm going to get CC here, AA, 22, FF. Now what's the what process we had followed? The lower bit is going to be transferred to the highest bit. Okay, this data is reversed. And if you observe, the definition says that it's only byte of data is going to be reversed, but since it is only REV, entire 32-bit data must be reversed, but byte by byte. So I took a first byte CC, I put it in the last data, that is highest, the fourth byte to say. So this is first byte, second byte, third byte, and fourth byte. The first byte is stored in fourth byte. The next second byte of data, so the fourth byte of data is stored in first byte. So this is getting reversed. Next, the second byte of stored in third byte, third is going to be stored in second. So this is how the execution of REV performs. I cannot show this practically because Cortex M3 is not supporting in my key. I need to even I'm also not getting this. What might be the mistake? So once I could able to perform the with respect to Cortex M3, later on I'll try to give the demo on M3 as well. Now right now what I'm trying to do is I'm taking the RM7. Then since RM7 and Cortex M3 getting overlap, instructions are getting overlap, so I'm giving all the examples which also suits for RM7. Taking those into consideration, I will be giving you the demonstration in the queue. CM3 instruction platform is not working. If I select CM3 processor, then it is giving some error. So let me see, and if I once I rectify that error, and once again I will give the demo on ARM Cortex M3. Okay, as of now, the target CPU that I have considered is 7 RM7. Okay, so that's why I made it that animation. I hope you got this particular example. rev.w. Okay, one more important point. Dot w stands for word. So whenever I write this, I think in the beginning of the class I told you starting days. So that is, this is stands for 32-bit thumb instruction. Okay, if I'm using only REV, by default it is what? ARM mode, right? There are two modes, one is ARM mode and thumb mode. If I write rev.w, then it is 32-bit thumb mode. If I'm writing only REV, then it is nothing but a 16-bit ARM mode. Okay. Thanks. So here we are trying to reverse the bytes in word. Okay. So we'll move to next instruction. Okay, now REV16. Now considering the same data once again, FF22AACC, before execution, how it is going to be stored here. This is how it is going to be stored. Now after execution, what happens? So I need to reverse only 16 bit of data, half word. So which means that this data is going to be reversed. So reverse the half word. Take first half word and next half word. Okay, this is first half word that is going to be reversed and next half word. See here, the upper byte of data is getting reversed and lower byte of data is getting reversed like this. So this is REV16, how it is going to be performed the operation. Reverse the bytes in half word. Okay, so once again we are trying to reverse bytes itself, but considering first half word and next half word. Clear? Next. Okay, this is another very important instruction, REVSH. So observe carefully. The data is 0000. A, B, C, D is the data. Now accordingly, lower byte is stored with CD and next byte is going to be stored with AB and next bit 0 and 0. Now after execution, then this is how the output looks. Signed bit extension. These two get reversed because of H, half word. Half word is going to be executed. These two data get extended, reversed. But I say that sign extended. Sign extend. What do you mean by sign extend? The rest of the bits should be sign extension. So that's why I write FFFF. So which is nothing but 1111 1111. So extension of sign bits. So this is the operation of REB. HSH. Is this clear or any doubts? So this is another group of data processing instruction. It is used for reversing the data bytes. Most of the times this is used to conversion from little Indian to big Indian. So in RM7 we used to write a separate program to make a little Indian to big Indian. Now this operation is going to be performed by a single instruction called REV in this case. Okay. So both 16-bit and 32-bit versions are available. Like you can convert only 16-bit, or if you want to convert a 32-bit, both are also possible. If I am using only 16-bit version, then you can access only the lower registers. Lower register means R0 to R7. That's it. So only you are allowed to use only those registers to perform these operations. You can use only R0 to R12 general purpose registers if you are using a 32-bit version, because ARM supports 16-bit instruction set, 32-bit ARM mode instruction set, 32-bit thumb mode instruction set, right? Now single register transfer. Now this is very important, where we the next instructions are with respect to memory. LDR, STR. These are the instructions that what we try to use to fetch the data from the memory. So ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, we assume that the data might be immediate data and we store that immediate data directly to the registers. In all our previous examples, whatever I took, move r0 comma immediate data, move r1 comma immediate data, move r2 comma immediate data, so on. And practically that is not the so. Many times we try to read the data from the user, wherein I need, or else we read the data from the data that is present in array. Then if at all, if the data that is present in array of data, let me assume this is the array of data that I have. If I want to fetch, so this is my memory. So if I want to fetch the content from the memory to the processor, and there must be a dedicated instructions to perform these operations. And once again, the data that is manipulated within the processor, say for example I perform addition, subtraction or any other operations, the data is manipulated, and after the manipulation I need to store the content of register back to the processor, back to the memory. Then how do you perform this? Anytime if I want to fetch the data, I will be fetching the data from my main memory itself. Then there must be a instruction to fetch the content from the main memory to the processor and to store the data from processor back to the memory. So that's where we use load and store instructions. LDR and STR are the instructions that we use for performing operation with respect to memory. So where it is a memory of 32-bit that we try to specify the address, from that particular address we try to store it to the we try to load to the register. That's what we call it as LDR. So LDR, see, always processor is the person who performs the job, right? Now with respect to processor you should speak whether it is a load or store. Now with respect to processor, I need to take the content, or I need to fetch the data that is present in my memory to the R0 register. And what will be this operation? It is something like I am trying to load from the data to the processor, right? So that is what we call it as a load. If I am fetching the content from the memory to the register, okay, assume that there is already a data that is present in my processor, that is within the register. Now I need to store. Now if I want to put it in memory, then I will call this as, with respect to CPU, I will call this process as store process. Okay, don't confuse this, because many a times these two instructions confuse the students. What is load process and what is store process? Okay, some people understand that storing from the memory to the register itself is a storing the register. Not, that is wrong. ಮೆಮೊರಿಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾನ ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದರೆ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಲೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡೇಟಾನ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ಮೆಮ್ರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಅಂತ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ರೀಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೈಟ್. ಅನದರ್ ವೇ ರೀಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರೀಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೈಟ್. Read is something like LDR, write is something like STR. Okay, read ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಮೆಮೊರಿಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾನ ಮಾತ್ರ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ರೀಡ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್. ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನಿಪುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಮ್ಯಾನಿಪುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಡೇಟಾನ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಾಪಸ್ಸು ಮೆಮೊರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಮೆಮೊರಿ, ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಅ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, LDRB, STRB, which is nothing but B stands for byte, so where we trying to access with respect to only 8-bit half word. Okay, sorry, 8-bit of data, not a half word, 8-bit of data. Now LDRH and STRH, so again with respect to half word, so here byte of data is going to be transferred or stored, here half word is going to be stored or loaded. And once again signed bit, LDRB and LDRSH. Similarly, you also have STRB, SB and STRSH, where we use a signed extended versions. of loading the data or storing the data. Okay. So load store instructions, once again a data processing instruction. It comes under the data processing instruction because we are fetching the data or we are trying to store the data, which is ultimately a transferring a data between memory. So very important, transferring a data between a memory and a processor registers. And there are three types of load store instructions. One is single register transfer, multiple registers transfer, and swap. These are the three different load store instructions. Now first we'll see how LDR works. LDR instruction, LDR, load or not register with a content of memory that is pointed by the register R1. What is R1 now? R1 we call it as pointer register in your C program, as good as writing it as stating it as star P. Now assume that this is a memory. I told you memory is always widthwise. Widthwise, in one of the classroom, I told you it stores only 8 bit of data. Okay, the address is obviously 16 bit, 32 bit. The address is 32 bit, but the data that what we try to store is always 8 bit data. Okay, now I need to fetch the data, a 32 bit data, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. If you write, so this is my data, 0x 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 continuously. Now I want to fetch this particular data. This is already present in my memory. I need to store it onto my register or not. ಈ ಡೇಟಾ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 ಡೇಟಾ ಇದನ್ನ R0ಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ನಾ ಈ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಫೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಡೇಟಾ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಈ 1 2 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟಾ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ 800 ದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ in the assembly programming that is going to be fetched through the register R1. What is R1 now? R1 is pointing to a address location. In C program ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ P ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ C ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ A ಏನಾದ್ರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. So what is this? A pointer pointing to an address. So R1 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? Address of a data, right? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರೆಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಪಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಅ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅನ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್. ನೌ ಇಫ್ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್, then if I want to load this, now we have an instruction called LDR0 content of R1. Now what is R1? R1 is nothing but 00008000. What is to be done? I need to fetch this complete data. Now, once it is there at single go, it fetch all 32 bit data, LDR, because if I say LDRB, then only byte of data is fetched. Now I am telling a 32 bit data to be fetched. From here it fetch entire 32 bit data, and now R1 content of R1 contains that particular data is going to stored in my R0. So R1, what is the content? 8000. What is the content of R0 now? It is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now what is this? R1 kind of bracket, in the brick bracket, it is nothing but content of again R1, right? R1 consisting of what? 8000. When I say that content, it is nothing but that is data that is present in the R1. I hope this particular concept got clear with respect to load instructions. And this is how ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಪಿ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಡೇಟಾ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈಕ್ವಲೆಂಟ್ ಅಸೆಂಬ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ LDR R0 ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ R1 ಈ ಥರ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Similarly, store instruction. So this is the last slide of this class. We'll wind up here. Example, to store the register R0 content that is present in R0, I need to store it in a memory pointed by the address pointed by the register R1. Again, R1 is called as a pointer register. Now to perform this, now that's where I have a data R1. What is R1? It is nothing but a memory location. It is a pointer. What is R0? The data. What is content of R1? It is nothing but data to be stored. So I will be use this operation I need to perform. I need to store it here. I need to store this data, but this address is present in my R1 register. And to perform this, I have store R0 content of this here. Okay. So R1 fetches the address, and there I need to store this data. So these are the load and store operation. We will execute this practically. We perform some operations, we write some programs where I fetch the data from the memory and perform the addition, multiplication. After performing that a particular operation, then once again I'll ask you to store that particular data into the memory. We perform all these kinds of examples. We'll see that how, or we try to swap a content of memory from one memory to another memory. We perform all these kinds of examples in upcoming classes. I think this made you clear. So we'll see the next type of instruction in the